welcome to episode 2 of the Cody Cast. My name is Lisa Tay, founder and director of Cody Agency, and I'm joined today by the exceptional Paige Richards, Cody's very own brand strategy lead. Woohoo! Welcome, Paige. We'll be co-hosting this episode, or this week's episode of the Cody Cast, and today Paige and I will be sharing our combined experiences on all things digital marketing and brand strategy. So firstly, actually, I just want to say that Paige was employee number 1 at Cody Agency. So I'm excited to get her to tell us why she has lasted this long. And no, it's not because I've forced her to keep working with me. So firstly, Paige, do you want to just start off by telling us your history with Cody Agency?
Sure. So, yeah, employee number 1 and still going strong. Watch out. So I've worn many hats. Well, we've been working together, but now I'm the content strategy lead, and basically thinking creatively but applying strategically is the best elevator pitch I can give you as to what I do.
You've literally done everything. I feel like there's no role that you haven't done at Cody.
It's like a master of none situation. I've done everything, but we've really honed it down in the later years, I think, of what really works and what's most successful.
Can I actually just jump in here? Can't even talk properly. Jump in here and say that Paige is the most amazing person at just working out how to do things. So there's no better person that I've worked with so far that's just able to work. You know, I'll say to her, Paige, can we do this? And you're like, yeah, we'll work it out. And you just somehow work it out. So like you taught yourself how to build websites, edit videos, graphic design, or like you're honestly the most impressive self-taught person. So
it's very much a scenario of being like a very, very proud alumni of Google University, which is still the absolute best teacher with a little bit of pressure. Yeah. And you'll be able to figure out anything.
It's honestly embarrassing. If someone looked at my Google search history, I look and search for the most stupidest things. So maybe that could be a segment on the show. The last 5 things you Google.
Bring in the staff to be like, just present to us your last 5 search results. I
feel like that's a really good segment for our show. So I'm going to pitch that in to Coco. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about why our focus is digital marketing content and why this is so important in today's age. So obviously with digital marketing, like a lot of the generation that's come through recently are digital natives. So they almost don't even know life without social media. I'm old, so I definitely know life even without the internet. I don't want to reveal my age because it's embarrassing. But for us, I know personally, I love digital marketing. Live and breathe it. I think it's such an exciting industry to be in. And I came from a tax background, so look, anything's exciting compared to tax. But digital for me is really something that's always changing, which I really love because there's, an algorithm change 1 second and that completely, can result in you pivoting your content strategy. So did you want to talk a little bit about why content's so important? Because I think it's really underrated.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you can have the absolute best laid strategy and have all the numbers line up the way you want them to. But if people can't emotionally connect with your brand or your story, all the best laid plans in the world mean nothing. That there has to be an emotional entry point for people to dedicate time to you or look closer into actually like connecting to your service or engaging further, because if your main strategy, which is not really the case for anybody now, like we're all kind of learned by osmosis of how digital marketing works in the best way possible. But if you were only to run, like, let's say an AdWords campaign and not have any kind of supporting creative or content to really showcase who you are and what you do, we're also blind to that kind of advertising or that kind of marketing, that it has to be a much more thought out, more visual medium if you're trying to acquire new people to be adopters of your brand or your service.
It's so true. And I think that concept of being ad blind for me really resonates, because I know as a consumer, I see an ad, I'm like, I'm not even interested in that. But if I look at content that looks organic and I don't even realize it's an ad, then it's almost like I'm getting sold to without even
Totally.
knowing. Yeah.
And like even with my industry goggles on, marketing, like really, really, really good content marketing works on me 99% of the time. That there'll be a really, really beautiful creative or a really well thought out video campaign, and I'll watch the whole ads and go, oh, it was an ad. It wasn't a video.
Yeah.
And I think for brands today, that's what you should be aiming for, because you need to be like edutainment.
Yeah.
Capture your audience by having really, really bold, exciting ideas, and then really put the, top line, like elevator pitch, 30-second pitch, or your USPs straight away, because people will ingrain it, like that information will be ingrained, and there'll be a clear delineation of, hey, that ad was great. Like a huge example is like why people go all out on Super Bowl ads.
Yes.
Admittedly, like obviously massive platform, 1 billion eyeballs on TV screens, but none of the ads are ever, hi, I'm brand X, I do this, you should, get involved with us. There's always like a catch. The creative drives it more than the actual conversion point. And that's something that everyone should kind of be thinking of, because like for traditional media, you need like a big TV like event or sporting event or whatever to guarantee that amount of eyeballs on your ad creative. But now, like the internet is the Super Bowl every day.
Yes.
So why are we not thinking more strategically that way of having really bold, exciting content going out to every channel every day? So you'd be capturing that amount of the market, like as an always-on campaign.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I love that quote. The internet is the Super Bowl every day. Quote Paige Richards, February 2021.
As a massive sports buff. Yeah. No, as an old adjacent, a lot of my metaphors will come back to like traditional media, even though that's not what we do here.
Well, I feel like though, in a way, I mean, look, I'd love your thoughts on where you see traditional media, like whether you think it's dead, sorry, all the traditional media people out there, or whether you think there's still a place for it.
Look, I am of the mindset, like you and I both have come up doing fashion, and there's something really beautiful and tangible about having a like hard copy magazine, and I don't necessarily think that it's dead, but I think that in the last couple of years, especially like after COVID, and well, I say that like we're out of it, but from 2020, the amount of magazines that shuttered is, I would, my very, very naive take on it is you got comfortable and you thought there was always going to be a market for you versus finding or pivoting to find a new selling point. So I don't think it's dead, but I say that as like Jack and I don't have a TV in the house. We've definitely moved to the old Apple TV projector situation, so maybe TV. But I think there's elements of being able to find a new purpose, like CR Fashion Book. That, because it's so beautifully designed and it's quarterly, yeah?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. There's a market for it because it's an art piece, it's an art investment. And whether that's worthwhile, like if you're not a heritage brand, then you have to find that uniqueness of why people want a hard copy, and the traditional like buy this and we'll give you a lipstick sample. It doesn't work anymore, and if you get too comfortable, I think then that's where the issues lie.
And I do feel that a lot of brands haven't evolved quickly enough to digital. And they haven't, not to say given it the respect it deserves, but there needs to be a focus. Like, it's not going away. In fact, you know, ISO's probably escalated or accelerated a lot of digital transformation for a lot of companies. So, you know, we've just been speaking to a lot of brands who are like, oh, whoops, I probably haven't given digital and my social media platforms the attention that it deserves. So they need to jump on board pretty quick, because everyone's really jumped on board social over the past 12 months, because it's been the only way they could even network and get their brand out there, because you can't obviously see people face to face. You just don't even have the foot traffic in the streets. You know, for a lot of us in Melbourne, for example, the streets were dead, and it's still only slowly picking up now.
Absolutely. And like, just as a side note, did you ever start looking at your screen time notifications?
Look, my screen time notifications, my pickups are so embarrassingly high. I'm like, do I even get any work done? How have I picked up my phone 250 times today?
See, I just say that it is my work and I'm researching. But that's an excellent point, that a lot of people who were probably a bit tech phobic, you know, when there was options in the quarantine times, it was a matter of necessity. And, you know, hopefully, you know, we can all balance a healthy screen versus real life time. But yeah, no, I think that, again, it comes back to being comfortable. It's about having success through either traditional media channels, or having like excellent word of mouth, or a great position for your brick and mortar. But I think like the main kind of takeaway here is digital is really, really, really cheap. That it's, the benefits just abound, that you're spending much less for higher reach. It's not location specific. So you can really throw out your message to a really wide group of people. But I think that the most exciting thing, and why you and I get so excited about digital, is that it's agile. That, you know, if, for example, if we were running any kind of creative campaign for a client and it wasn't working, all we need to do is pull it and repost it. And that really, really means that we can get the best results for clients, and really push ourselves to think, what can we do and what can we learn from the last round of creative, or like for organic channels, having a certain style of photography go out, and then see that one kind of wacky shot did better, that we can really work towards, you know, getting that feedback from the audience and tweak it and put it back out there for more success. So unlike having to supply creative months in advance to have to wait to see whether it worked or not, I think that's a massive difference, and why digital is really like the way forward.
Well, yeah, it's so much more powerful. So if you take a billboard out, for example, you have no idea who's even seen it. Whereas digital, you can go, well, I can target it very specifically and track the click-throughs, and then track, you know, who's even bought from that, click-through. So it's just so much more, it gives you so much more insight, and then you can make informed decisions.
And like that data is invaluable to you're basically being told en masse what your customers want from you. So whether, you know, if there's a certain product that you do and you've had a colorway that was incredibly successful, you'll know immediately from people who responded, versus having that kind of a guesstimate of what you'd be getting.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to move into some do's and don'ts for branding, because you would see a whole lot of don'ts, I'm guessing.
And a whole lot of do's.
And a whole lot of do's, hopefully. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. So do you want to talk a little bit about some of the, I guess, the mistakes that you see and then also cover off on some of the good things that you do see?
I think the major don't of all kind of brand strategy is when brands don't talk the same on different channels. So there's not a consistent tone of voice, because if you're trying to move your voice to be tailored to the program or the platform that you're on, and that shifts with every platform or service or program or whatever, you're not talking to multiple facets of your audience. You're not really talking on behalf of your brand at all. It's like that that Steve Buscemi gif of when he's like, "Hello, fellow kids." It's very that. That I think that you need to be confident enough that who you are and how you sound and how you look is appealing. And I think the other don't I have kind of ties into that is just because every single brand is on every single platform doesn't mean you have to be either.
That's a great one.
Because again, if you spread your message too thin to target demos, that will not pick up your service or your product or whatever you're selling. Like if you were selling assisted living products, you wouldn't be advertising on TikTok. It's to have the confidence of really knowing who your customer is, what they like, and why they like you. There has to be an element of confidence.
Exactly. And then you can determine where they are. Like once you know all that, then you can go there and focus your efforts on there. Because as we know, social media management is a full-time job. So if you're trying to be on TikTok and then Twitter and then Instagram and then LinkedIn, like I'm struggling just to be on LinkedIn and TikTok. I haven't posted for years, not years, months. LinkedIn is like probably the biggest one for me at the moment. And then Insta, I'm trying to get, still post every now and then. And then now Clubhouse, I'm like, guys, can you give me a break? Like I don't have any time left. I can't keep going on platforms. So I'll be really interested to see. Actually, I'll be really interested to see what happens with Clubhouse because that just got valued at $1 billion. What the hell?
Which is like the thing that I love about Clubhouse is that it's not a groundbreaking idea.
No.
But it's a really well crafted, really well thought out platform. And the rollout has been impeccable from
the hype
and having the exclusivity. And I think, they've really kind of tapped into, the idea isn't groundbreaking, but having it voice only and invite only, it takes away from a lot of old, and again, old adjacent. I am, but like chat roulette, like that was kind of in the same vein that you could have rooms and then talk to random people, but the element of having to be on camera was pretty exclusive. That if you didn't want to be on camera or conversely you didn't want to see the person on the other side of the camera.
Well, I was actually hearing about how there was a real problem because there'd be all these naked old hairy men on the chat roulette. So you just spin the wheel or whatever you do and then it's like this old naked man there and you're like, okay, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, you're not my friend from school.
No. So that community management is going to be, I think, the biggest challenge that Clubhouse have because there's no way to moderate conversations really as they're going on. So we've totally digressed, but I think it's going to be definitely a platform to watch. And actually, there's a great blog on our website which talks about what Clubhouse is. So definitely go and check it out if you want to find out more.
Just a subtle Cody plug.
Just a subtle Cody plug, absolutely. And also Elon was on the other day. So Elon broke Clubhouse. Well, he maxed out the room. So there's 5,000 in his room and then people were streaming his room on YouTube and Facebook and all that because not everyone could obviously get on. So that was interesting.
Do you find that when high profile people get on like the new platform, does it kind of like make it a little uncool, or do you think that like increases the value of the platform?
That's a good question. So I think it depends on obviously the type of person, but I know Clubhouse really, with their PR, really pushed that Oprah was on the platform, Kanye, Jared Leto, like thought leaders, because it's almost like you can get direct access and listen to them. So that was something that I was looking at in their PR strategy. So if you actually follow the Clubhouse PR push, it's been like flawless. Like they've done such a good job, because really they've kind of made it exclusive by having invite only, but really at the end of the day, it helps them with beta testing. So
100%.
Yeah, they don't even have Android yet. Like they're just on, on iTunes, iPhone.
And it's a really exciting way to see like how you can test like the limit of the server, like
exactly
having all the hype of getting people on board and getting like invites, you know, being accepted, bringing them onto the platform just to see how many people that they could physically put in that room. You know, that's priceless UX testing.
Exactly.
That's just happening.
Exactly. So they must have been pumped when Elon's like, I'm going to go on Clubhouse.
What was he talking about? Like,
who knows? I don't know. I actually couldn't even get on. So yeah, but so I would say that that's probably been a really great brand campaign I've seen recently. Like love that from a brand strategy perspective. I was actually in a Clubhouse room the other day with the two founders. So they were just doing a welcome session. I just popped in and put my little hand up. I was like hoping to get on stage, but I think every single person in the room's obviously trying to talk to them. But I thought it was a really good way to actually do testing. But if anyone doesn't know what Clubhouse is, just in a nutshell, it's an audio only social media app. You jump on, you don't post content, you just create a profile, then you can jump into rooms. So you can host rooms, jump into rooms that are actively going at the moment. I think the founder said the longest Clubhouse room went for 12 days. So people just kept that room going.
Look, it's like back in primary school when like you're having a sleepover and you just don't want to go to sleep and be like, well, we'll be quiet. We'll make.
It just kept going. So I don't know. Obviously, a lot of people weren't getting a lot of sleep, but really keen to see that all unfold. So keep an eye on Clubhouse. If you want an invite, hit me up. Maybe I might have a spare one. Shoot me a DM on LinkedIn. But just to wrap up, I thought I'd quickly just ask you, what are you excited about in 2021? What are you looking forward to?
I'm so excited that we can like be out in the world again. I'm really, really excited to go back to the cinema.
Oh, it's so fun.
It's so fun. And I'm really, really excited to see how, you know, now that we're back in the office and our clients are back in theirs, you know, we're not going to be we won't have to be pivoting in order to make content safely while we were quarantined. That now, you know, again, still safe. We'll have all of our COVID precautions in place, but just to be able to work collaboratively and make some really, really exciting content.
Even doing this.
Doing this.
Not having to do it via Zoom. I know. You're literally 1.5 meters away from me. But yeah, just being able to see, even work with the team, because during COVID, it's so weird. We had our Christmas party and we're meeting people for the first time. So yeah, so I'm excited just to be able to have that collaborative energy in the office and be bouncing ideas off people, maybe jumping into Clubhouse rooms, who knows. But yeah, looking forward to it. Well, thank you so much for dropping by the Codycast this week. Hopefully that wasn't too painful. And if you want to hear more from Paige and see more from Paige, come work with us. No, just kidding. Sign on as a client. No. But in all seriousness, Paige, you're such an incredible person, not only just as a person, but as a talent. So really honoured to work beside you. So Yeah.
Back at you, LT. Thank you.
Yay. So make sure you tune in, subscribe, give us a rating. Look, I'm not going to tell you to give us a 5-star rating. If you want to do that, then please do that.
If you give us a 5-star rating, LT will give you a Clubhouse invite.
Oh my God. I will do that. That's good blackmail. I mean, bribery. So not blackmail, bribery. But would love for you to subscribe, even share your learnings from your favorite episode. So take a sneaky screenshot, share that on social. Make sure you tag us because we'll be sharing, our favorite little social posts. Is that what you call it? Yeah, I should probably know that. I'm in digital marketing. But if you also have any topics or anything you want to learn about, please feel free to shoot us an email. You can reach me at lisa@codyagency.com.au. Please don't spam me or send me anything inappropriate. That goes for LinkedIn as well. Please don't send me inappropriate stuff. I received plenty of inappropriate things on LinkedIn. Thank you very much. But yeah, really excited to keep sharing the latest and greatest in digital marketing with you guys. So stay tuned for episode 3.